Hey, my name's James Wilkinson and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks everyone for getting us to 5,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed already, give us a quick subscribe and hit the bell notification. Make sure you smash the like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Now, today we want to talk about house prices and the massive divide between the north and London and the southeast of England. And I've been doing some research on this for around a week now, going down lots of rabbit holes, reading ONS data, all sorts of articles in the Financial Times and stuff like that. And I've found some really interesting stuff. And I want to share that with you here today. And I want to get the conversation going on it. So make sure you comment with any questions or opinions below. But keep them kind. That's all I ask. So let's talk about what's going on at the moment. So right now, you roughly need 9.1 times your salary to be able to afford a property in the UK as a first-time buyer. That is really high. Now, what I did notice was we can go back and we can say, look, in the 70s, 80s and 90s, it was 3 or 4 times, but interest rates were significantly higher then as well. So you've got to take that into consideration. That's one reason low interest rates has been a key driver in these prices going up. So it's 9.1% times your salary to get a property in the UK on average. So not everywhere's average, is it? So where's the most expensive place in the UK? Well, it's actually Chelsea. And so if you want to buy in Chelsea, you need 36 times your salary to be able to buy a property in Chelsea, which is crazy. Now, the cheapest place is in the northwest, and that's a place called Copeland or Copland. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. Hopefully one of those is right. And there, you only need 2.7 times your salary, which means pretty much anyone can afford to get a mortgage if their credit rating is in a good position there. Now, probably there's not lots of employment in that area, and that's why the houses are so cheap. Now, what's happening in London is you roughly need 11 times your salary in London for a normal place. Obviously, it's not Chelsea. There's lots of areas in London. So 11 times the salary in London, which is crazy high. And the north of England is around 4 times your salary on average. Unless you go to Copland or go to Chelsea, they make a big difference in those figures there. So that's some interesting data. Now, what this is indicating and what I've been reading is, look, house prices are expected to go down, and it's London and the southeast that will be hit first and hardest. London got hit with some downward trends in COVID. That was a problem for some people. It was quite quick that it bounced back, but they did drop. And that was because at the time, people wanted to just get out the cities. And so I did quite well with some properties that I've got in Hastings, because that's by the coast. And when it was lockdowns and stuff like that, people wanted to move out and have somewhere to walk around and stuff like that. So what else is going on? What else did I discover? Well, here's an interesting thing. The reason the London prices are significantly high, I kind of knew this already, but I didn't know it was this much, is 7 out of 10 properties that are over £5 million are sold to international investors. 70% of properties over £5 million are going to international buyers. A lot of Chinese buyers, Russian buyers, maybe not so much Russian now, but it was a lot of Chinese that were buying these properties for investment. Some of them not even living in them, which is crazy, and they were just seeing that as a safe asset to own. They weren't even worried about renting them out and making an income that way from them. So what else is going to drive this stuff and keep these numbers as they are? Because look, house prices could go down. We know that, right? And we're saying that if we do see a house price drop, London and South East will definitely be hit higher. I mean, somewhere like Copeland, the prices don't really need to go down. If we said the market was going to crash 10%, why would it necessarily need to crash 10% in Copeland when a house is very affordable already, right? So I don't think those sorts of areas will have a big difference. And when we look at house prices as a whole and what's going to happen in those areas, I don't think the north is going to go down that bad this time. 2008, it was hit quite hard with the 110, 120% mortgages. We haven't had that irresponsible lending, although we've talked about 100% mortgages the other day, but we haven't really had that kind of lending for a while. And so there's a lot more checks on affordability and stuff like that. I don't think the north is going to go up or down massively in the next year. But I've got a portfolio in the south, and that is more likely to get hit for sure, where the affordability is really, really high, and where interest rates have gone up yet again this week. That's going to have another impact on that. But what is the population growth expectations? Because that will make a difference to house prices longer term. And what I really found interesting was not necessarily how many more people we will have, but how many more households we will have. And so trends are that people get divorced, trends are that people live longer, and this will make a difference to the amount of actually households that we have in the UK. So right now, households that we have 27.5 million households, right? 27.5 million. I think we nearly got 70 million people, right? So there's on average a couple per property. Obviously some will have more. Now, this is where it gets interesting. By 2033, which isn't really that long away, 10 years away, we're looking to have 5.8 million extra households. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's because people will obviously grow up. They will want their own properties. More people will get divorced. More people will live longer. There's all these factors that go into it. Now, in order to maintain that, they're saying that we need to build roughly 300,000 or 400,000 houses a year, right? Because we're behind. And we're not. We're building 150,000 houses in a year. So the supply is still going to lack massively. It's not going to turn around, even if the government flick a switch and say you can build on any greenbelt land right now. We don't have enough builders. We don't have the materials. It still takes time to go through architectural drawings. It takes time to build the house, sell the house. All of this stuff happens. Now, longer term, house prices, I'm certain, are going to go up. I think interest rates will drop within a year or two. And I think that we will probably have some sort of decline temporarily, as we have done in the past. I don't know how deep that's going to be. I've said about 8%. I don't know that for sure. I'm not an analyst, economist. No one knows for sure. Even those guys don't know for certain what we're expecting. But what we are expecting is the north will fare significantly better than the south in this property cycle. Affordability is at 4 times earnings there, which means it's affordable right now to buy a property, even at today's interest rates, or if they go significantly higher, people up north can still afford to buy a house. Down south, not quite so much, especially if you live in Chelsea, but the people that are buying there are foreign investors anyway. So let me know your thoughts on it. What do you think about the north-south divide? Obviously, a lot of you expect prices to come down. Do you agree that northern prices will probably less be hit this time round than southern prices? Comment below. Any questions or queries that you've got, do comment those below as well. Do like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep the channel growing. Next target for us is 500,000 views. Thanks for watching. Go and check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.